Here, ancient empires once rose and fell, leaving behind echoes carved in stone and legend. But beyond the ruins, life pulses in raw, untamed rhythms. From jagged mountains to searing deserts, Ethiopia holds some of the planet's most extreme and breathtaking landscapes, a realm where nature still writes the rules. Welcome to The Strong, where we journey deep into the soul of Ethiopia, a land as fierce as it is beautiful. Where the sky touches the earth, the Ethiopian highlands. High in the ancient heart of East Africa, where jagged mountain peaks pierce the clouds and the wind sings through valleys carved by time, lie the Ethiopian highlands, a land sculpted by fire and frost, where the earth seems to reach up and meet the sky. Known as the roof of Africa, this unique ecosystem stretches across central Ethiopia, forming one of the most extensive continuous high-altitude areas on the continent. Here, life has evolved in splendid isolation. The highlands are a biological island, surrounded by lowland deserts and savannas that act as natural barriers, allowing a remarkable array of endemic species, plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth to flourish. Among the most iconic of these is the Ethiopian wolf, Canis simensis, a rare and elegant predator, often mistaken for a jackal or fox due to its fiery red coat and slender build. It is Africa's most endangered carnivore and one of the rarest canid species in the world, with an estimated fewer than 500 individuals left in the wild. These wolves are exquisitely adapted to life above 3,000 meters, nearly 10,000 feet, where oxygen is scarce, nights are bitterly cold, and snow may briefly dust the volcanic soils. Unlike their northern gray wolf cousins that hunt in packs, Ethiopian wolves are solitary hunters, specializing in small burrowing mammals that thrive in the high-altitude grasslands. Their primary prey is the giant mole rat, Tachyorhynchus macrocephalus, itself an endemic rodent that spends most of its life underground. Remarkably, over 90% of the Ethiopian wolf's diet comes from this single species. The wolves are built for this precision work. Long legs for silent stalking, razor-sharp hearing tuned to underground movement, and narrow muzzles perfect for snatching rodents from their tunnels. Watching an Ethiopian wolf hunt is like witnessing nature's own ballet, focused, quiet, exact. It listens intently, freezes, and then launches itself in a graceful arc, landing with uncanny accuracy. In a blur of red fur and white markings, it digs frantically, then disappears again into the vast moorland. Their last stronghold lies in the Bale Mountains National Park, a remote expanse of Afro-alpine meadows and highland heathlands. Here, lobelia plants rise like alien towers, and icy streams carve paths through wildflower-studded plains. Conservationists, both Ethiopian and international, have rallied around the species, implementing vaccination campaigns to prevent disease transmission from domestic dogs, monitoring populations, and working with local communities to protect this fragile ecosystem. Yet threats persist. Habitat fragmentation, grazing encroachment, disease, and the slow, steady creep of climate change continue to erode the wolves' territory. Roads, settlements, and farming continue to push into their realm, while canine distemper and rabies, spread by unvaccinated dogs, pose lethal risks. Still, in the haunting silence of the highlands, the Ethiopian wolf endures. A flame of wildness in a world of clouds and cold. a symbol of adaptation, elegance, and the quiet power of survival on Africa's rooftop. Mountain ghosts, the Walia ibex. High on the sheer cliffs of the Simien Mountains, where the land falls away in breathtaking drops and mists cling to ancient crags, lives a creature both elusive and regal, the Walia ibex, Kaprawali. Endemic to Ethiopia and found nowhere else on Earth, this wild mountain goat is a relic of a bygone era, a living fossil clinging to survival in one of Africa's most awe-inspiring landscapes. Fewer than 500 Walia ibex are thought to survive today, making them one of the rarest large mammals in Africa. They inhabit elevations between 2,500 and 4,300 meters, navigating a vertical world of rocky ledges, alpine grasses, and plunging ravines with uncanny agility. Their hooves, with soft pads and sharp rims, grip the rock with surgical precision, allowing them to scale what seems like impossible terrain. The males are especially magnificent. Their massive, backward curving horns, sometimes spanning over a meter in length, arch like ancient scimitars from their heads. These horns are not just for show, they are used in ritualized combat during mating season, when rival males engage in fierce clashes to win the right to breed. Females and juveniles, more lightly built, move with grace across the slopes, often forming loose herds of up to 10 individuals. Walia ibex feed primarily on alpine grasses, lichens, and mountain herbs, often grazing at dawn and dusk when the chill is gentler and the predators less active. During the heat of the day, they retreat to rocky outcrops and caves, staying hidden from both human and animal threats. Their sanctuary is Simien Mountains National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site often called the Grand Canyon of Africa. This breathtaking wilderness is home not only to the Walia ibex, but also to other rare and endemic species, including the gelada monkey, the world's only grass-eating primate, and the Simien fox, another name for the Ethiopian wolf, as well as bearded vultures, lammergeiers, and over 180 species of birds. Yet even here, danger looms. Habitat degradation, illegal hunting, and overgrazing by livestock have all taken a toll. As climate change alters rainfall patterns and plant communities, the alpine niche that the ibex depends on is gradually shifting, threatening their long-term survival. Protecting the Walia ibex means more than saving a single species. It means preserving an entire ecosystem, a delicate and ancient web of life that has persisted for millennia. And in doing so, we are reminded that wilderness is not just a place, but a promise. That even in the face of overwhelming odds, beauty, strength, and balance can still endure. The social kings of the highlands, Gelada baboons. As the first light of dawn breaks over the Ethiopian highlands, it spills across vast alpine meadows, painting the grass in hues of gold and green. The mist lifts slowly, revealing movement, hundreds of figures grazing quietly like a herd of miniature long-haired lions. These are the Gelada baboons, Theropithecus gelada, ancient primates found nowhere else on Earth, and perhaps the most socially complex non-human animals alive today. Though they are often called baboons, geladas belong to a unique genus entirely their own. Their appearance is striking. A flowing golden mane, powerful limbs built for climbing and crawling, and that unmistakable crimson patch on their chest, shaped like an open wound. Among males, this patch becomes more vibrant when they are dominant, acting as a living symbol of their strength and rank. For females, it pulses brighter, when they are in estrus, a biological billboard in the drama of life and reproduction. They live high above the tree line, between 2,000 and 4,500 meters, in a world of jagged escarpments and windswept grasslands. This elevation is no easy place to survive, but geladas have mastered it. While other primates rely on fruit or leaves, geladas are the world's only primarily graminivorous primate. They live almost entirely off grass. Using dexterous fingers and keen eyes, they pluck leaves, stems, roots, and seeds with precision, grazing for up to 75% of their waking hours. But their feeding habits, as remarkable as they are, pale in comparison to their social lives. Geladas live in what scientists call a multi-level society, a system of nested groups that resemble human social organization more than that of any other primate. At the base are one-male units, a harem consisting of a dominant male, several adult females, and their offspring. Multiple harems come together to form bands, which can consist of hundreds of individuals. These, in turn, may form herds, sometimes numbering up to 1,000 geladas moving as one across the highland plains. Within this intricate society, communication is essential. Geladas are among the most vocal of all primates, using a rich tapestry of over 30 different vocalizations. Their sounds are musical and complex. Coos, barks, growls, purr-ees, and lip smacks that seem more like conversation than calls. Some scientists even suggest that gelada vocal behavior might resemble the precursors of human speech, a glimpse into our own evolutionary past. But they don't rely on sound alone. Facial expressions are vital. Raised eyebrows, lip flips, tooth displays. Grooming, too, serves not just as hygiene, but as a currency of trust and alliance. In gelada society, peace is maintained not by force, but by connection. Still, the highlands are not without peril. Leopards stalk in silence, spotted hyenas skulk in the night, and giant eagles circle overhead, searching for the young and the weak. Geladas have adapted with sharp eyes, keen group vigilance, and alarm calls that ripple through the herd in seconds. When threatened, they gather in tight clusters, standing tall, vocalizing fiercely. In unity, they find protection. As evening falls and the shadows stretch across the escarpment cliffs, geladas retreat to the edges of sheer drops, where predators cannot follow. There, on rocky ledges above the clouds, entire families huddle together, a warm tangle of fur and trust silhouetted against the fading light. To witness them is to glimpse something ancient, yet eerily familiar. In their society, their emotion, their devotion to one another, we see reflections of ourselves living on the roof of Africa. Masters of the sky, the bearded vulture. High above the world, above the foraging geladas, the nimble Walia ibex, even above the towering cliffs of the Simeon Mountains, a great shadow drifts silently across the sky. It circles on invisible currents, tracing wide, lazy spirals in the thin mountain air. With a wingspan stretching nearly 3 meters, about 10 feet from tip to tip, the bearded vulture, Gepidus barbatus, also known as the Lampertiergergeyer, seems less a bird and more a living myth, part raptor, part phantom, part elemental force. From afar, it appears like a prehistoric relic, a creature born of mountain storms and ancient skies. But up close, it is a spectacle of form and color. Its narrow, outstretched wings taper like a glider's, allowing it to ride thermals for hours without a single flap. Its face is both regal and feral, piercing red-orange eyes, a sharply hooked beak, and a distinct black beard of bristled feathers that gives the bird its name. Its body is cloaked in feathers dyed a vibrant rusty orange or deep ochre, a fiery hue that seems to glow in the sun. But this dramatic coloring isn't genetic, it's intentional. In one of the few documented examples of animal cosmetic behavior, bearded vultures seek out iron-rich soils and ochre-stained cliffs, deliberately bathing and dusting themselves in the red earth. The reasons are still debated by scientists. Some believe it's a sign of dominance. Others say it signals maturity or breeding status. But whatever the purpose, the result is striking. An animal that chooses to alter its appearance, painting itself in the colors of fire and stone. It is nature's artist, a creature as mysterious as it is majestic. Yet perhaps the most remarkable trait of the bearded vulture lies in its diet. Unlike other vultures that scavenge flesh, the lammergeier is almost entirely osteophagous, a bone eater. In fact, up to 90% of its diet consists of bone. It doesn't just pick at carcasses, it waits until the others have finished, then moves in for what remains. To most predators, bones are the end. But for the lammergeier, they are just the beginning. With powerful talons and jaw strength, it can swallow small bones whole. For larger ones, it engages in a behavior seen almost nowhere else in the animal kingdom. It flies high into the air, sometimes over 100 meters, clutching the bone in its claws. Then, with precision, it drops the bone onto rocks below, shattering it open to access the rich, fatty marrow inside. A nutrient-dense prize that few others can reach. This behavior has earned it another name in local folklore, the bone breaker. Some cultures once believed it would drop bones on prey from the sky, an ancient myth sparked by this very act. And yet, this macabre reputation belies its true nature. The bearded vulture is not a killer, but a recycler, a specialist, a cleaner of the mountains. In ecosystems where decay and death are daily realities, it plays a crucial role in ensuring that nothing is wasted, helping prevent the spread of disease by disposing of bones that other scavengers cannot. Despite its strength and size, the bearded vulture is a creature of elegance. In flight, it seems to defy gravity, gliding silently, wings stretched in a cruciform shape, steering with minimal motion. Watching it soar across the vastness of the Ethiopian sky, you feel as if you are witnessing something sacred. In some African cultures, it is revered as a spirit of the ancestors, a guardian of the mountains that links the world of the living with that of the dead. Yet this guardian, too, is vulnerable. The bearded vulture's range across Africa has steadily declined, and its populations in the Ethiopian highlands face growing threats. Habitat encroachment, nest disturbance, and poisoned carcasses intended for hyenas or leopards that inadvertently kill scavenging birds. Because it breeds slowly, often raising just one chick every 2 years, population recovery is a slow, fragile process. Still, hope glides on the wind. Conservation efforts, including the protection of nesting cliffs, community outreach, and anti-poisoning campaigns, are helping turn the tide. Local shepherds, once wary of vultures, are being taught to see the lammergeier not as an omen, but as an ally, a vital piece of the highland ecosystem. To witness the bearded vulture soaring above the Simeon cliffs is to see the earth as it once was, wild, raw, and magnificently alive. It is not predator nor prey, but something in between. A keeper of bones, a messenger of the sky, a reminder that even in death, there is beauty, and in silence, there is power. Where Earth cracks and life thrives, the Great Rift Valley. Deep in the ancient heart of East Africa, the Earth tells a story written in stone and fire. It begins in Ethiopia, where the planet itself seems to split open, revealing a world unlike any other. This is the Great Rift Valley, one of the most geologically active and biologically diverse regions on the planet. Formed by tectonic forces that began pulling the African continent apart over 30 million years ago, the Rift Valley stretches over 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, from the Red Sea in the north to Mozambique in the south. But Ethiopia holds its most spectacular secrets. Here, the land doesn't just crack, it breathes. Jagged escarpments plunge into valleys of fertile soil, where volcanic ash has enriched the earth for millennia. Towering mountains rise alongside shimmering lakes like Lake Abaya, Lake Ziwe, and Lake Langano, forming oases that support an astonishing array of life. These bodies of water are not only ancient, they are vital lifelines in a land where water often means survival. The Rift is a place of extremes. Blistering deserts give way to verdant highlands. Searing heat meets cool misty mornings. But through every season and in every corner, life pushes forward with relentless determination. Elephants carve ancient paths through the savannas, migrating in search of food and water. Lions rest beneath the acacia trees, ever alert to the rhythm of the hunt. Giraffes, elegant and silent, move like shadows across golden plains. These are the titans of Africa. But look closer, and you'll find an intricate world of coexistence. From clever jackals and nimble gazelles, to rare birds, colorful insects, and even microbial life in hot springs that seem like they belong on another planet. But the Rift Valley is more than just a sanctuary for animals. It is also a cradle of humanity. Some of the earliest known human ancestors were discovered here, including Lucy, Australopithecus afarensis, whose 3.2 million-year-old fossil remains were unearthed in Ethiopia. This land does not just host life, it has shaped it. In this place where continents divide, life converges. The Rift Valley is not just a fracture in the earth, it is a womb of creation, a testament to nature's resilience, and a vivid reminder of how deeply life and land are intertwined. The desert sprinter, the ostrich. Across the sun-scorched plains of the Great Rift, where the horizon shimmers under a relentless sun, a shadow moves. Swift, graceful, and impossibly fast. It is not a predator, nor a machine, but a bird. A bird that cannot fly, yet outruns most animals on Earth. This is the ostrich, the desert sprinter. Towering at over 2.5 meters, 8 feet, and weighing as much as 150 kilograms, 330 pounds. The ostrich holds the title of the world's largest bird. But what truly sets it apart is its unmatched speed. With strides that can stretch over 5 meters, 16 feet, it can sprint at up to 70 kilometers per hour, 43 miles per hour, leaving dust and danger behind in an instant. Its legs are masterpieces of engineering, long, muscular, and equipped with 2 powerful toes, one of which acts almost like a hoof. These legs don't just allow it to flee, they also give it a potent means of defense. An ostrich kick can kill a predator. Even lions think twice before challenging one. But ostriches aren't solitary sprinters. In the Rift Valley, they move in small groups called herds, usually consisting of a dominant male, a leading female, and several others. Their social structure is complex and cooperative. During breeding season, females lay their eggs in a communal nest, a shallow scrape in the ground that may hold up to 60 eggs, each about 15 centimeters, 6 inches long, and weighing as much as 24 chicken eggs combined. These eggs are not only the largest in the animal kingdom, they're among the most durable, able to withstand the heat of the desert sun and the occasional trampling foot. The male and the leading female take turns incubating them, camouflaging their black and gray feathers with the light and dark of day and night. In the parched landscapes of Ethiopia, where water is scarce and vegetation sparse, the ostrich thrives where many cannot. It can go for days or even weeks without drinking, relying on moisture from plants, seeds, fruits, and insects. Its gut is adapted to extract every drop of water and every nutrient, making it a true master of desert survival. And yet, the ostrich is more than just a survivor. It is a guardian of the ecosystem. As it feeds, it helps control invasive plant growth, and as it moves across the land, it spreads seeds, unintentionally planting the next generation of life. In its silent sprint, it is sowing balance across a delicate landscape. There is something almost mythical about the ostrich, a bird too large to fly, too fast to catch, and too important to ignore. It is a symbol of adaptation, resilience, and wild grace. In a world that often seems to favor power or intellect, the ostrich reminds us that sometimes speed, instinct, and community are just as vital for survival. The gentle giant of the forest, the greater kudu. Traveling farther south into the dry, sun-dappled woodlands of Homo National Park, one may be fortunate enough to catch a glimpse of one of Ethiopia's most regal creatures, the greater kudu. Often called the ghosts of the forest for their quiet movements and elusive nature, these antelopes possess an otherworldly beauty that sets them apart from all others. Standing tall with a dignified posture, the male greater kudu is instantly recognizable by his magnificent spiraled horns, which can grow up to 6 feet in length. Each twist in the horn is a testament to years survived in the wild, often taking more than 6 years to reach their full cull. Their bodies are elegantly built, muscular yet slender, with a grayish-brown coat lined with vertical white stripes, helping them blend into the woodland shadows. These stripes mimic the shafts of sunlight that filter through the canopy, making the kudu nearly invisible to predators. Greater kudus are browsers, meaning they feed not on grass, but on a diverse menu of leaves, twigs, fruits, seed pods, and flowers from shrubs and trees. During the dry season, when food is scarce, they've been observed performing remarkable feats, standing on their hind legs to pluck tender leaves from high branches, a behavior rarely seen in antelopes. This adaptation not only ensures their survival, but also plays a subtle ecological role. By feeding on a variety of plants and dispersing seeds through their droppings, kudus help regenerate the forest, maintaining the delicate balance of plant life. Though calm and gentle by nature, they are always alert. Their large ears swivel independently, catching even the faintest rustle in the underbrush. When alarmed, they can leap gracefully over shrubs and flee at impressive speeds, disappearing into the dense forest within seconds. Their shy demeanor and preference for thick cover make sightings rare and all the more magical. Homo National Park, alongside the equally biodiverse Mago and Tama parks, offers a sanctuary not only for the greater kudu, but for a host of other iconic African species. Here, nimble dik-diks dart through the underbrush, regal oryxes roam the plains, and vervet monkeys swing through the treetops. Lions, cheetahs, and wild dogs stalk the grasslands, while hundreds of bird species paint the skies with color and song. It is a living tapestry where each thread is vital, and the greater kudu, the quiet forest king, holds one of the most graceful roles of all. Nature's silent cleaners, the hyenas. the grand story of the African wilderness, few animals are as misunderstood as the hyena. Often depicted as villains in folklore and fiction, hyenas are, in truth, the unsung heroes of the savanna. In Ethiopia's diverse landscapes, ranging from the rugged highlands to the golden lowlands, two species of hyenas play a critical role in keeping nature clean, balanced, and alive. The spotted hyena, with its muscular build, powerful jaws, and eerie, and the deer laughing call tends to steal the spotlight. Living in large, matriarchal clans that can stretch up to 80 individuals, these social carnivores are not just scavengers. They are skilled hunters, capable of taking down large prey such as wildebeest and antelope. Their societies are complex, almost militaristic in structure, with females dominating the hierarchy and forming strong family alliances. But then there is the striped hyena, the quieter cousin, often traveling alone or in small, tightly knit family groups. Unlike the bold and boisterous spotted hyena, the striped hyena prefers solitude and silence. With its long, shaggy mane, slender frame, and dark vertical stripes running across a pale gray coat, it seems to fade into Ethiopia's rocky hillsides and dry savannas like a shadow. These hyenas are true scavengers, feeding almost exclusively on carrion, the remains of animals left behind by larger predators. But they don't just consume flesh. They also crack bones, eat hooves, and digest skin, materials most animals cannot process. Their powerful jaws can shatter even the thickest bones, allowing them to extract nutrients like calcium and phosphorus, which are otherwise lost to the cycle of life. This behavior prevents the spread of disease and cleans up the environment in a way no other creature can match. What many fail to realize is that without hyenas, ecosystems would collapse into chaos. Decaying carcasses would linger, attracting disease and disrupting the delicate balance between predator and prey. In this way, hyenas, especially the striped ones, are nature's frontline janitors. They take what is dead and forgotten and return it to the earth, ensuring that life continues to thrive. In some Ethiopian communities, particularly near the ancient city of Harar, striped hyenas have even become part of the human story. Locals have learned to coexist with them, and some families even feed them scraps, calling them by name. These unique bonds, though rare, speak to a deep and ancient understanding that hyenas, far from being villains, are guardians, watchful, patient, and necessary. Together, the spotted and striped hyenas of Ethiopia are a living lesson in the value of every creature. Even those that skulk in the shadows, shrouded in myth and mystery, can be heroes in the grand design of life. Lake Tana, where water meets life. Covering more than 4,000 square kilometers, Lake Tana is not only Ethiopia's largest lake, it's also the sacred birthplace of the Blue Nile, one of the great rivers that nourishes civilizations far downstream. But beyond its geographical significance, Lake Tana is a cradle of biodiversity, teeming with life both above and below the water's surface. Its shores and skies are alive with the calls of birds, from the elegant African fish eagle, whose sharp cry echoes over the water as it swoops down to snatch fish with razor-sharp talons, to the unforgettable marabou stork, a bird that commands attention for all the wrong reasons. With its bald head, hunched posture, and massive beak hanging over a fleshy throat pouch, the marabou may not be a symbol of grace, but it plays a vital role. As a scavenger, it consumes everything from rotting fish to animal carcasses, helping to prevent disease and maintain the balance of the lake's ecosystem. It is nature's janitor, indispensable if underappreciated. In the shallow waters and the reed beds, other creatures make their homes. You might spot the sleek Nile monitor lizard basking on a rock, or a group of African clawless otters playfully slipping through the water, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Beneath the surface, Lake Tana hosts unique species of fish found nowhere else on Earth, part of an evolving aquatic world still being studied by scientists. Humans, too, are deeply intertwined with this ecosystem. At sunrise and sunset, local fishermen paddle out in tankwas, traditional boats made entirely from papyrus reeds. With no motors or noise, these fragile crafts glide silently across the water, a perfect harmony of ancient skill and natural respect. These fishermen know the rhythms of the lake intimately, and they also know to keep their distance from its most dangerous residents. The hippopotamus may appear calm, even comical, as it wallows in the shallows, but beneath that heavy bulk lies an unpredictable and territorial creature. In fact, hippos are responsible for more human fatalities in Africa than any other large animal. Yet, here at Lake Tana, a quiet understanding has developed between man and beast. With caution, respect, and a deep connection to the land, people have learned to coexist with the wild, sharing this vital, life-giving body of water in peace. The Danakil Depression, Earth's fiery cradle. Far to the north, the landscape transforms dramatically into one of the most extreme environments on Earth, the Danakil Depression. Lying more than 300 feet below sea level, this alien realm is a place of blazing heat, shifting salt plains, and otherworldly beauty. Daytime temperatures here regularly exceed 120 degrees, 49 degrees C, and rainfall is almost non-existent. At the heart of this harsh terrain lies Dalol, a geological marvel unlike any other. Here, the earth seems to boil over. Sulfur vents hiss, pools bubble with acid, and the ground is painted in impossible colors: neon yellows, electric greens, and deep rust reds. The air is thick with the scent of sulfur, and the ground crackles with salt crystals underfoot. It's a landscape so surreal, even the simplest forms of life, extremophile microbes, struggle to survive. Despite the punishing conditions, life exists here in unexpected forms. In the salt flats, you may see the rare salt-adapted beetles, their exoskeletons shimmering in the heat. Farther out, camel caravans, led by Afar nomads, slowly cross the salt plains, collecting blocks of salt, once known as white gold, just as their ancestors have done for centuries. These people have adapted to the extremes, finding beauty, meaning, and survival in a place that seems unlivable. And beneath this strange surface, a slow, powerful force is at work. The African and Arabian tectonic plates are gradually pulling apart, creating a rift that will, one day, millions of years from now, form a brand new ocean. It's a stark reminder that Earth is not a finished masterpiece, but a living, shifting canvas. The Danakil Depression is not just a land of fire and salt. It's a glimpse into the raw, unfiltered energy of our planet. A place where the rules of life are rewritten every day, and where the story of Earth's creation is still unfolding. Ethiopia is more than landscapes and wildlife. It's a nation where history, culture, and resilience run deep. With its own calendar, ancient churches carved into stone, and traditions dating back thousands of years, it stands proud and unconquered. This is a land of rhythm and roots, of spiritual strength and natural wonders. A mosaic of past and present, Ethiopia invites us to see the world differently, to find beauty in contrast, and power in perseverance. So as our journey comes to an end, Ethiopia continues, unfolding her secrets, telling her stories, and inspiring every soul lucky enough to witness her. If this journey moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us for more stories from the field, where nature speaks and every creature has a tale. Join us as we explore the wonders of the animal kingdom, one heartbeat at a time.